Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to School of Thought podcast. As usual, I'm your boy King James.
And you know what it is, it's LB.
And today we on location at one of our favorite cigar spots, the House of Cigars.
Shout out to the House of Cigar.
So, uh, we just gonna conversate. So, how everything been going on with you?
Man, everything been good. Just had a weekend with the kids, getting everything together, took them to the water park, so everything was good. Had a minor hiccup, had a blowout on the freeway, but other than that, life is good. We still in the land of living.
Yeah.
Everything, all the kids is healthy, everything going good, job going good, family life lovely. Can't complain for real.
See, that's a good point you made. Family life is lovely. And I think people today need to understand how important family is. Because yesterday I woke up, seen the news. I watch the news every morning. Seen the news and seen where a young lady went into school, killed 3 kids and 3 teachers. Well, 2 teachers and a janitor.
Right.
So family life, that's important, man. We losing people daily like crazy. So with that being said, let me ask you this: what's one of the best things that you like about your family?
One of the best things I like about them, they there when I really don't need them. You know what I mean? But I know they got my back regardless. And and the unconditional love is a big plus. You know what I mean? Because we're so close knitted, but it's so many of us. And that's one thing I could say about my family. When it's time to pull through, we pull through. You know.
Yeah, I like that. I know for me, I like the closeness of family.
Right.
I think the closer you are, the more trustworthy you can be with your family.
Right.
But I think still, sometimes you still have to leave a gateway to be let down.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you do get some of them family members that you trust, and if you give them too much trust, they'll let you down.
Yeah, that's true.
But I would say for me, it is the closeness of family, and like you said, having a support system there. Even when you not calling on them, they still there when you need them.
Right, for sure. Some people abuse it at times. Like, if I just keep on giving them, what I'm gonna have for me and mine?
Right.
So I'm glad, like with my family, they ain't like that. If it's really needed and I get called on, then I know like I'm at the giving call and vice versa. So that's the good thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that school shooting, man, that's a tragedy there, man. R.I.P. to the ones that lost their lives, and prayers goes out to the families of the victims. Yeah, that's something serious too.
Yeah. I
Especially
seen
them babies.
Yeah. When I seen it, I was just like, dang, like, because they said on the news it was a 9-year-old got shot and killed, and the 9-year-old, her dad was like the pastor at the school.
Wow.
So it was like, man, like that's crazy. But then to find out too, she was on her way to go after the school shooting, she was on her way to go shoot up a mall.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
Some evil people in this world, and I'm like, because I seen where they say she wrote a letter to somebody and was telling her, like, by the time you see this, when you read this, I'm gonna be on the news, I'm gonna be dead. Which basically means you wanted to suicide. So why would you put these innocent people in the way that you was going?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're emotional, and that's another big thing. Like there's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong with, what I'm saying, talking to somebody, expressing, whatever you got going on that's burdening your heart. because there's suicide at a high rate, there's depression at a high rate, emotional distress, any and everything, and people could just flip out at any given time. So whatever you got bottled in, it's good to just let somebody know,
Right.
get some help in some type of way.
Right. And you know what? To piggyback off what you said, I think that's an important factor for everybody. But I think it's a real important factor for men because I watch a lot of videos and stuff, and I see where you always hear people say, "Well, men go through stuff, but they don't have nobody to talk to."
Right.
And I think it's important for us men to know that we do need to sometimes dump out certain energies that's within us. We need to get them out of our head and off our back,
Right, for sure.
you know. And I think a lot of times as men, the reason why we don't express ourselves because we don't want to feel like we weak. You
I
know,
agree.
but that's something we got to come up out of. You know, that's something we got to adjust our life to know that we, you know, mentally we need to pour out.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure. For
so-
sure. Everybody need a shoulder to lean on.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And then if by the time it's too late, nobody really know what the issue was because you never expressed it. So
Right.
it's good to let it out. And even if you got to cry, like I remember plenty of times I could be at the bar, I could be at the grocery store, I could be at work. I say, look, I got to let it out. You know, I'd have been through more than enough, but that didn't strengthen me when I look at my kids, when I look at my everyday being. Like, man, life is still good. You know. And that's what a lot of people need to just cherish because we only get one and it ain't long. So,
right. So let me ask you this. I think this is a good segment to stay at. So let me ask you this: what was something in your life that you endured that you think kind of messed your mind up mentally, but because you talked about it, it helped keep you in a good space?
I think the biggest thing was losing my parents. You know, and then it started off losing my grandmother, and I thought like she would never die. She was like 93, going on 94, and that was like 2014. So to lose my mother at 2018, it was like wow, like my mom. And then it was like losing my dad in 2021 on his birthday was like a dagger, like dang. But you know, in the process, you know, I done had therapy sessions, and you know, I done sat and talked to people that's relatable to the situation. You know, because the biggest thing to me was, and like I tell people, because of the help that I had, because people went through it before me, was like, you know, the biggest lie was it'll be okay. You know, it's never gonna be okay because at any given time you're gonna feel that emotion. You're gonna feel like you left alone. You're gonna feel like you're down and out. And you know, that's where my strength came from. Was that, you know, I still got this. You know, I still got something to live for. I'm still strong. I still can move on. You know, and you know that was my biggest motivation was, you know, letting it out and expressing what I was dealing with at any given time. So now you take it years later, it's more of a good thing that I could talk about it and not get emotional about it. And then I could help others with things that's similar to what I went through or that have been through it and still don't know how to, you know, cope with it. So I think that's one of the biggest, you know, daggers I had in life and was able to overcome.
See, I think for me, I'm gonna have to say the same thing. Losing my mom, you know, it was like I felt like you said with your grandmother, like you never imagined them passing away.
Right.
Like it's like your parent is your superhero.
Right. Right, for sure.
So I think when my mom passed, I took it real bad. You know, I got to a place where I was depressed and didn't even know I was depressed. To the point where I blocked out everybody. Like I didn't talk to nobody. I went to work, I came home, and it was just me, my wife, and the kids.
Right.
And I shut down for a whole year. Like before I knew it, a whole year had went past. And then one day, it just exploded. And this is why I tell people now, and you know, one of my biggest things is I hate when people tell people after a loved one died that we look at and we admire, we love so deeply, to sit there and tell them everything gonna be okay.
Right, for sure.
I think that's the worst thing you can do.
I agree.
You have to be honest with people and let them know, hey, you know, this is gonna hurt, and it's gonna hurt for a long time.
Yeah.
So allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to weep, whatever you need to do, allow yourself that space to do that, because a lot of people don't realize letting the hurt out is beneficial.
Yeah, for sure.
But holding it in can be crucial, and it can be deadly.
Yeah.
So I think that was a good statement you made, that people really need to understand that no, some things you go through in life gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And it ain't gonna be all right until you able to release that hurt.
Right. Agreed.
So
Because I used to get to some at some point it could be like I could be out somewhere, and then it's just like I want to fight. I want to do this, and then it was like, wow, this person ain't did nothing to me, but it was just something that was just built in me until I was able to control all the mixed emotions that was in me, like
right.
you know, because I couldn't keep questioning God on the why because everything was in His plan. So I'm like, we only get people temporarily in our lives, so that's why now I just cherish every moment. You know, I live day to day to the fullest, like, you know, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Overcoming, you know, the downfalls in life and building it, and you know, you can construct that negative energy into a whole nother positive way. You know, in a whole nother light. And now I'm looking like I know them elders that was before me still looking down like, yeah, he doing so good. You know.
Yep. So I think that was a good, interesting topic. And I always feel like when you go a certain direction, you're going in that direction for a reason.
Yeah.
So I think people needed to hear that you know, that quick conversation on that, you know, for some reason for us to get on that topic, you know. So with that, I just want to say, man, I hope that helps somebody, and share this and encourage people. Let people see this and understand. You getting information from two dudes, like real men, that got families, take care of families, work, take care of home. But we telling you, it's okay to seek help when things is going wrong or things ain't lining up the way you want them to line up, or even if it's something tragic, that it's cool to seek help as a man.
Yeah, definitely.
So now on a better note, let me ask you this. What's up with your thing that when people say something or say somebody remind them of something, how are you able to go on your phone and pull up the pictures of what people are thinking in their head? Like how you do that? I've been wondering that. Like, how the hell he do that?
I think of it. It's the photographic memory that I always had. Like even as a kid, like I always been fascinated with drawing, but never could really draw. So I tried my best at doing, you know, a lot of things. But it was like from watching movies or like a TV show or something. Like a lot of times I could revert back to 25 years later and be like, oh dang, I remember this. So to see something and then it'll be like it'd be like a deja vu, something like, you know, and that's why I could easily just go right to it, like, you know what I mean, at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, so I'm like, this is crazy that you able to pull up pictures like that. Like that be amazing, man. And it'd be so
Be
funny.
dead on.
Cause it's like, dude, you pulled up the picture of what I was thinking. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be a comedian at one point in my life, but I said I don't know. It still ain't too late. It still may plan out.
Yeah, it ain't never too late to be funny. You know. So you see the thing with Lamar Jackson?
No.
They say he told the Ravens he was leaving.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and now they talking about the Colts is
Interested in him?
yeah.
No, I ain't see that.
Then so I'm scrolling through Facebook, right?
Right.
I see a post where somebody posted, what's the ugliest family
Oh.
in Columbus? And I'm like, whoa, like, I ain't gonna say the people names that they were saying, but I'm
I
like,
just seen a glimpse of that.
yeah, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, and then I had people actually putting people naming families.
Right, you name somebody's family, and 9 times out of 10, this is one of the biggest families in the city. Like,
Right.
how could you man? Listen, you playing with fire with some of them names I seen. Like, man,
Yeah, that's crazy.
then I say, what if somebody just married into the family? So they just picked up the last name. So you just on there because you ugly?
I see one family on there though. They came on there and made some comments and was holding their own. So, but I'm like, who asked a question like that?
That's what I was wondering. And
Not-
then
well,
for the
you-
person that name drop, now people at your neck because you name drop my family.
Right,
Like, that's something else.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm like,
Yeah, I just seen a glimpse of that. That's funny.
so I seen a video and it was talking about the dude was going around asking people, would you pay for $1 million? Would you stick your private part in a glory hole and not knowing if it's a woman or a dude? But would you do it for $1 million? I said, nah, my account is stay $1 million negative, cause I ain't not. And then not to even be knowing who on the other
Who
end.
on the other end?
That's crazy.
Nah, I don't think I could do that neither.
But there's a lot of people out there,
Yeah, I don't
boy.
think I could do
Pokety poke.
that. That's funny. Just put it in the glory hole.
A lot of people going down that dark hole.
Well, in this day and time, that's why it's like things the way it is, because they make things so acceptable. So it's like, shit, you take it 15, 20 years ago, you be like, what? And now it's just like, yeah. You could do that for $500. It just
Right. There's people do that
all
for free.
For free, for real. You little horny goat. Yeah, before you know it, you be walking around here at the clinic like Willie Lump Lump.
Mm. Yeah, man.
I was tripped out about this Andrew Wiggins situation.
Oh, with the girl?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do in that situation. But it was another player that said his wife had a baby by another man, and he took on the baby knowing that she was pregnant. So, but I'm like, for me to nah, I'm like,
Knowing she was pregnant?
yeah,
Nah, he tripping.
yeah, that's what I said. I
That's
said,
true.
I don't know. I think the relationship would have been over.
That's that simp action right there. I ain't, nah. You gonna come home and tell me Nah, I ain't doing that.
I'm ready.
I'm not gonna make that mistake twice.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
You think I'm gonna hit my head?
So I seen a post somebody put out where they said Gabrielle Union left her first husband because she was seeking what's the word? Seeking validation. And I guess her first husband wasn't giving it to her, so she left him. And not only that, then I read the statement she made, and she said one of the reasons why she left him too was because he would then to find out he was an ex-football player. But one of the reasons she said she left him was because she was paying all the bills, and he was just doing whatever he wanted to do.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, man, what's going on with these women making their men's look stupid and then thinking that's okay?
All the way out there in the public, like, because at one point y'all was married, so whatever the financial state was going on, you should have left it behind closed doors.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you want to blast them because, like, people blasting you now because of the situation that's going on with you and D Wade. So it's like, come on now. If he was an ex-football player and you, at the time, was a grade A actress, like, of course you bringing in all the money. You on the Bad Boys, you doing TV shows, you doing all of this and that. So it's like, compared to your money, my money really ain't nothing. So it's like with us being married, like we still a hoe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, that don't. You shouldn't do nothing like that.
Yeah, something in the water, man. Now that it seemed like, even though the Will and Jada thing was 2-3 years ago or whatever,
Right.
it just seemed like after that, it just seemed like women just finding it okay to trash their man to the public.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like women standing for that now. It's like women finding it okay to do that. And then it's like the ones that's finding it okay when the old school type women say, hey, I would never do that to my man. Like, that's crazy you doing that.
Stick bound.
They coming at them like, nah, you wrong. And all this stuff. So it's like, man, it's like the tables is really turning. Like, embarrassment is on the horizon for women to be out here embarrassing their men.
So is that why we got situations like Wendy Williams' ex-husband, or like Mary J. Blige?
Probably.
You know what I mean? Because it's a two-headed sword now. Because so many women do it to guys that got money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So now when the woman got more money than the man, and he do it, now they late. So it's like it goes both ways nowadays. Like,
Yeah. It's like the game, it's just like the game ain't even got no rules no more. It's like all the rules has been thrown out the window. It's like it's a free for all now. Like, you do whatever you want to do, and you treat your people however you want to treat them, and it's supposed to be okay. Nobody's supposed to say nothing. And it's just crazy, man. It's
Wow.
crazy how things is getting.
and then now it's all for a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Like with my grandmother, with my granddad, I just heard stories of him, but he was passed away by the time I was born. But it was like he was a provider. He did this. He had children on my grandmother, but to his dying day, she was still his wife. She was there by his bedside. So it was like whatever that man did out in the street, keep that out in the street.
Mm-hmm.
When you come home, like you home with me and my kids, and my grandmother was an evangelist. So, the bad talking and this and that, I never heard that about my granddad. So I guess the solidness about that is gone out the window.
Right. So let me ask you that, because I wanna dig on that for a little bit. Let me ask you this. Like you said, when our when our grandparents and stuff was together, it was never, no matter what they did, you weren't gonna talk bad about your mate.
Right.
You know, from the man's side nor the woman's side.
Nor the woman's side.
And you weren't gonna let nobody in the street, even if they knew something about your mate, you weren't gonna let nobody in the street disrespect your mate.
Right. You always stood up for your house.
Right. But now it's like people even letting the people out on the street talk bad about their mate.
I see a lot of that.
And it's like, I don't know, man. I ain't understanding a lot of stuff that's going on
The loyalty
these days.
the respect, yes, it's a lot that changed. You know, I don't understand that. I done overheard conversations, and it could be about the husband, it could be about the wife, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the baby daddy, the baby mama, and they just join right on in. Yeah, he ain't no good. He a dog. He's sleeping around. Oh, she ain't doing this. She a skank. She was just at the Come on now. At the end of the day, that shouldn't be broadcasted. Especially not coming from you that's going back home to these peoples.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he's a dog, he your dog. Because you going back into bed with him.
Right.
You know?
So with that being said, what you think about the streets today?
Like as
Far as how stuff moving in the streets now. Like when you look at when I look at the streets today, I think the streets is soft.
I agree.
You know, when I was growing up, it was like, man, you knew this and you knew that, you knew what to do, you knew what not to do.
Right.
But it's like now, it's like everything is full go.
True.
Like ain't no rules, no codes to the street no more. Like all the codes is being broken now.
I agree. And that's as far as with the telling, that's far as with the respect. Like I'm like it used to be a time like even if it was with the game bangers or you know the street guys was shooting dice or they was dealing their drugs or this and that, you went on the other side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
They walk right through. Now the elderly person can't even get out their car or sit on their porch, take groceries out. We used to assist with all of that. Like, oh man, that's Miss So-and-so up the street, man, go help her with her bags. Like nowadays, it's like you can see this 70-some-year-old woman struggling to get bags and they'll just sit and look at her. Or nowadays, they'll probably try and rob her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, it's very different. And then on another note, like we ain't have all this gunplay.
Yeah.
Nowadays they got guns long as our legs. And you like younger than us when we jumped out off the porch. So a lot of that didn't change the game too.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that gun action, man. That's a lot of people doing gun action now.
And they doing it with no remorse. That's
right.
the thing. Like you you can go down for 100 years. Like
yep.
It's like it just don't matter to them.
Cause you know what I kind of think happened, and I was thinking about this the other day. I kind of think what happened was, I think the generation coming up now is so in tune with these stars that when they see them in a movie and they see, oh dang, such and such got killed in this movie, but then he got another movie just came out and he in that.
Right.
And I think somehow the generation today took that and think that when you kill somebody, they think that that's not permanent.
Right.
That people gonna come back. They think it's a game.
Or want to see the excitement of what the gun gonna do.
Right.
Yeah, I was speaking on which you see the girl that shot her baby dad on Facebook Live.
Oh, for the twerking?
No, he was trying to leave the house, and she was climbing. No, it was her husband. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact.
I seen the video, but I think in the title it said she caught him twerking on a dude.
No, he was getting ready to go off to work or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the mom co-signed and talking about some, why you ain't making food for the kids, why you ain't here half the time, why you doing this, why you doing that. She like, it ain't time for you to go to work. You go to work at this time. Like, but he didn't want to sit and argue. He trying to defuse the situation. So she walk off and grab a gun. Like, oh yeah, you gon' so and so. Sure enough, the gun go off. Kids in the house. But I'm like, you shouldn't even egg it on to that point. For one, the man not trying to argue, and evidently he's a provider. This is your husband, but you're on Facebook Live downing this man as if, and it was the pettiest stuff. Oh, you ain't cooking for the kids, but I'm bringing the money in for you to cook.
Cause then, didn't she say on the video, or I might be mixing two different stories together, but didn't she say on the video that she was about the shooting, and then she shot him, and she said she ain't know one was in the in the head.
She ain't know one was in the head. Right.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
the same
yeah.
video.
That's crazy.
Yep, that's the same video. Now the kids have lost their father.
About to lose their
About to lose their mom. Like for something that simple.
Something done.
Like for one, why would you even go get the gun? And then the statements that you're saying, you so emotional, wrapped up that you really want to do bodily harm to this man.
Yeah.
He studied telling her, don't put your hands on me. I'm trying to leave out. I'm trying to go to work. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And you talking about the pettiest stuff. Like, well, you got this much time to go to work. You can still be sitting here. You can still be doing this and still doing that. Why? If I'm at home with you and you nagging at me all the time.
Because some women just like to provoke their man. You know, it's literally like women out there who every day they try to provoke their man instead of, if the relationship bad, just get out the bad
Just
relationship.
get on out the relationship. Yeah.
You know, nobody should be in a relationship. Nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. I've never been a fan of that.
For sure.
You know, and it's just crazy now. Like you said, he gone. Now she finna be gone, and now the kids gotta grow up without both of their parents now. Over one parent taking a situation too far.
Way too far.
It's terrible. That's terrible. And I think people need to think about what they do more before they do it. They need to really contemplate the results of, if I do this, what's the results and how many people is this going to affect?
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
because now she's sitting in jail thinking, man, I messed up.
Yeah. Even when it happened, she was sitting there stunned and screaming like, why would you even go get the gun in the first place?
Yeah, how you going to display that to the kids? How you going to explain that to his family?
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't got no defense because it's all on live. They heard the comments you saying. They see that man trying to walk out the door. You study stopping him. You study trying to hit him. And then the gun go off and he's dead.
Yeah. Man. Pause it. So that's it for this segment of School of Thought. Tune in, man, on Wednesday. Catch the videos. Subscribe to the channel. You know, leave comments and let us know if there's a subject y'all want us to discuss, to get our point of view on it. Let us know.
We're here for it all.
Right. As I always say, this your boy King James.
And you know what it is. It's LB.
Hey, holla at y'all. God
Peace.
bless.